On the air with me is Bubba Carpenter. And Bubba, good morning to you, sir. How are you?
Doing great, Paul. How are you guys doing this morning?
Doing good. Boy, it's been a long time. I understand you're doing some manual labor this morning, which is good.
Ooh, we are. I got a break, Paul. I want to thank you and Perez for letting me come on this morning. We were laying some sod in Corinth, and I got to take a break to be able to get on the radio. So it was great timing. Yes, sir.
Well, laying sod is one of those things where, it's a back-breaking job, number one. Number two, you get better at it the longer you do it, cutting those squares and everything.
I know, Paul, but I'm an old man, and it's tough on the old body,
I'll tell you this, one of the things that I've never owned since I left the farm, because on the farm they used to have some hung up in one of the barns, is knee pads. But knee pads are one of the things, as you get older, you need.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's talk about this. As chair of the House Military Affairs Cmte, it was kind of an abrupt thing that happened, of course, and I know your name was involved with people contacting you, but as far as where we are now with the Veterans Affairs, your statement on that, your thoughts behind the abrupt resignation of Stacy Pickering, and I'm sure you've had a chance to collect your thoughts over the days.
I have not, Paul. Like I said, we got out of session, came home, and kind of went back to work, and just hit me like you guys. You probably know more. You guys probably know more than I do. I do know I got the message that he had resigned, and we got to go forward from here. We have a host of veterans and their spouses we need to take care of, and that's what my main concern is, to take care of our veterans and our National Guard, being military affairs and also veteran services. So I want to focus on that, Paul, is to make sure our veterans are taken care of, and we have someone at the helm to be able to do that. So, well, that being said, you guys probably know more about that than I do, and I just, probably wouldn't have a comment at this time about that. Yes, sir.
Is that an interim position, or is that permanent as far as the replacement?
It's my understanding. Mark Smith spoke with Mark yesterday. I've been in contact with Mark on several constituent services. Have veterans call me all the time needing help, or legislators call me asking for some help for their constituents. And Mark has been a true asset to me for the last couple of weeks. He's filled in. He's doing a great job. Basically, it's an interim is what I understand. It is interim, and hopefully, at some point in time we can find a great replacement, whether it be Mark or if Mark's whoever, if we find someone.
Yeah.
And I know it'll be a good process. It'll be a selection process, and that the board will, of course, the governor and the board are involved in that, and I know we'll find somebody good to head our veteran services up in our state.
Well, is there a counterpart in the Senate as far as committee?
Yes, it is Senator Seymour. Mike Seymour is the counterpart over there, and I'm the House Chair of Military Affairs and Veteran Services. Yes, sir.
I got you. Well, you very seldom hear anything about that one, but I just wanted to touch base with you on that one. Is anything that you guys are going to bring up that maybe has necessitated looking at possibly submitting legislation in the 2023 session for this?
As far as the selection process, Paul, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not to my knowledge. I haven't got anything in the making. I know we still got several months before we go back into session. Speaking with just, my counterpart on the Senate side, I don't know if he's got any legislation. He didn't mention. We were on the coast the other day for the National Guard convention, and he didn't mention anything about any legislation. However, there's 52 senators, so there may be somebody come up with that. They actually have to affirm the appointment by the board, and that they have to be affirmed there in the Senate. So there possibly could be something come out of the Senate. I think our process works. I think it's worked since I've been there 15 years. I saw it work, and I believe we could probably keep what we've got. However, I would be interested in or willing to look at any legislation to see what it looks like before I make any comments on it. Sure would.
I'm sorry, I'm a little dizzy from hearing you've been there for 15 years.
Whew, it's been a while, Paul. You remember the morning the morning I won, you called me. It's amazing. 15 years ago. Yes,
sir. I do. I still have that cut in the archives of your competition, and I'm a yeller dog Democrat. That was to be honest with you, an incredible time for talk radio back in those days. Wouldn't want to go back there, but it was an incredible time. And Ben, a lot of changes have transpired in these decades, which has been absolutely incredible. Let me ask you this, and this may not be your territory, but the Attorney General is deciding whether to file a lawsuit to recover about $2.3 million in public money that the state auditor, Shad White, said was misspent by a community college and some business leaders. And we're talking, this is a story in the Mississippi Daily Journal. Etowamba Community College, there was a former college dean, some owners of a furniture manufacturing company, Chapter 3 Incorporated, and a former employee of the furniture company there have not repaid the workforce enhancement training funds. The auditor's office demanded the money in October, but it does not have the authority to pursue civil or criminal sanctions, as you well know, so they have to go to the Attorney General's office. My question is, they have to work with the community college on this one, and that's another interim. Who makes the appointment of the new head of the community college since Dr. Mayfield left? Who does that appointment?
Would that not be the community college board, Paul? Would that be the IHL? I'm not familiar with those appointments, but I do know that they have a big say in it as far as the community college
yeah. Well, I wasn't sure. I didn't know if you know or not, because the board wouldn't appoint its own, or would it be the IHL? I'm not sure.
Right. I if I'm not mistaken, it is, Paul, the IHL. I've heard that in the past. I may be wrong, but I think that is the IHL that appoints those. That's right.
The Office of Workforce Development was rebranded as Accelerate Mississippi and now oversees the roughly $25 million, though it is required to collaborate with the Community College Board. Accusations of misspending happened while the Community College Board still had oversight. So it's one of the stories out there as far as the state auditor is concerned. While I got you here, and I'm going to let you go, just a couple of other questions.
Yes, sir.
What does it look like as far as the economy up in your neck of the woods and the beautiful state, a beautiful part of northeast Mississippi?
Paul, I tell you, it's simply amazing. Going to Lowe's yesterday to pick up some supplies, it's just the parking lot's full. I mean, using Lowe's and Walmart as an example, people are not stopping up here. Now, where they're getting their money, they're spreading it very thin with fuel prices, with grocery prices. They know something I don't know, because I tell you, being a business owner, the profit margin's getting lesser and lesser with these fuel prices.
It is.
And especially going to the grocery store. You know, my wife and I, we cooked out on the grill over the holiday weekend, and I was amazed, Paul. I could have actually went to a restaurant and ate cheaper than I could have bought. We cooked out, of course. But it's amazing, the price of meat, vegetables. As far as this country, Paul, we hope and pray for midterms, but something's got to give with this administration. I agree with you. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
Listen, when your steaks cost more than the grill, we got a problem.
Oh, I'm telling you. If you
Thank you, Bubba.
Cut it. Yes, sir, Paul. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Let you get back to laying sod there. Bubba Carpenter on Bubba Day. Thank you, man.